Monday, and it's the new year, and I am determined to go live with you all at least once a week. This is the first week we're starting that, I think, because we were live pretty much this past week for the new year. But I thought today we would do something a little different. It is the time of year for organization of our creativity corners, our sewing rooms, our craft rooms. And one of the things that I have been wanting to get done for a very long time is organizing my patterns. Now, I cannot take this idea as my own. This is an idea that I actually got from our friend Katie over at My Little Shindig. She had shared this with me. It's probably over a year. I think it's over a year that I bought all of this. I've used it for classes, for workbooks for classes, but I did not do what I had set out to do with it, which was organize my patterns. So I'm going to go through what it is that I purchased to do this and the thought premise behind it. I think it's probably one of the smartest tools, I think, that I've seen innovation wise for a small sewing room to organize your patterns that you've already printed out. I do not have a projector. As much as I would love one, maybe eventually when my studio is done, I'll have a projector that I won't need to print out patterns. That would be ideal. But at this point, I'm still printing out patterns. And especially, like, it is one of the things that keeps me from doing more garments, I think, is that having to print out such a big pattern. So we're going to organize our patterns. So come in and say hello this morning. I do have my iPad up so I can see your comments when we start working on this. But come in, say hello. And if you have something in your sewing or craft room that you would like to see organized in the next, let's make it shorter than the year, okay? Because I know everybody's doing New Year's resolutions. Good morning, Marie. Good morning, Steph. I know everybody has resolutions, probably something to do with your craft. But if there was one place within your sewing room, sewing area, for years I pulled my sewing machine out onto my kitchen table, my dining room table. That was my sewing room. Then I moved stuff to our bedroom and had it like in the one corner. It was all my stuff. And then I moved into this room. So no judgment on whatever the size or the space of your sewing crafting area. But if there is one thing in the next 3 months, let's do 3 months, let's make it a quarter. What would you like to see organized in the next 3 months? What's one thing you would like to be like, you know what? In the next 3 months, I'm going to take the time to do that. This is my second one, to be very honest. I'm going to flip my phone so you can see what I did with my zipper tape. I was telling you guys for a while, if you follow me over on Instagram, my zipper tape for a long time, since I started sewing, I'll share it with you. I have this basket that was my Nana's. And this is where she kept her zippers, her buttons, those sorts of things, because she mainly did, hemming and like garment repairs, those sorts of things. So she didn't have a ton of zipper tape, that sort of stuff. But this is where it was. And so I do have a couple things in here still, like my garment zippers and things like that I kept in here. But this is where I was shoving all of my zipper tape. And I was like, what am I going to do with that? And I felt like I didn't really have like a space to hang one of those like shoe organizers that a lot of people use. I was like, what am I going to do with it? I need to see it, because when I don't see it, I go and purchase the same stuff and I don't need. So this is the first thing I did. I'll flip this around just real quickly so you can see. So I made this my husband and I made this board that I'm going to flip around to show you. gosh, well, when I remodeled my sewing room, and I had all my washi tape because at that time I used to, I did my planner, like I would spend every Sunday morning stickering, and I do miss that, but I never got that much washi tape because again, I try not to over consume things as much as possible, and I use my stickers more than I used the washi tape. So I made this for washi tape, and the other day I was like, when I was starting to clean out this room, I was like, you know what? I wonder if my zippers, and this will also make me not buy zipper tape because it's full. So I'm going to share this with you. So this is my zipper tape area. It's just these little hooks. I did add my Cricut mats there because I haven't used my Cricut in a while, and they were taking up some space on my pegboard. So I put all my zipper tape there, and then my Disney Cruise fish hanger. I'm sorry that this is in the way. My Disney Cruise fish hanger that I made for the 2 cruises I went on last year. That's where my washi tape is right now. But there's my zipper tape, and I feel like it's gonna work out. It's a little wonky, you know, like I have to be really careful when I take things down from it that the whole thing doesn't go, but it's telling me I don't need any more zipper tape. Like I can make what I want to make this year with the zipper tape that's there. So that's one area that I got organized. But I'd love to hear from you guys. What is something in your sewing crafting area that you just wish you could get it a little bit more organized in the next 3 months? Because I think we all feel it. We all feel it. All right. So, pattern organization. I'll show you what I've been using. All right. So I have this little drawer. I'm going to tilt you down. There they are. I have this little cabinet roller that I've just shoved them all in there. And you don't remember what you have. And the patterns that I have made multiple times, I know they're in there. But it's just a mess. It's a hot mess. So this is what we're going to do. We are going to bind them. And this, like I said, is not my idea. And I don't know where Katie saw it, but Katie was a teacher. And I think that's what made her like, oh, bind them. Get a binding machine and bind them. So I do have the links for all the pieces of this except for the sheet protectors, which you can pick up at like a Staples or something. You don't have to order them off of Amazon. I'm sure you could maybe pick this up at Staples too. I don't know. But I bought this binding machine. Okay. So this is, and I'm getting little pieces all over my floor, but this is the binding machine that we're going to use to bind them. And then there's these pages. So your front and back of your binding of your book. Okay. And then the sheet protector is to put all your pieces in, and then you're going to bind it all together. So your instructions, the amount of sheet protectors that you need, and you're going to bind it all together in a little book. And then, good morning, Diana. Good morning, Linda. We're talking about organizing this morning. So we're going to bind these. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I really want to try to get all of them done today. And I figured as I'm doing this, we can talk about what are our goals for organization. What are the things? Let's make the list, right? Let's make the list of the things that need to be better organized this year so that we can actually enjoy our crafting. Because I don't know about you guys. This is one of the things that discourages me from going and doing what I want to do, right? There are patterns I would love to revisit, but because they're shoved into this cabinet, they don't get pulled out. It's also, like I said, I feel like one of the things I noticed Katie was doing is that anytime she prints off a pattern now, she immediately binds it, which I was like, that's so genius, because whether you start doing it right away or not, you're ready to do it when it's time. Hi, Krista. I personally love organizing too. The problem, I don't know if anybody else does this, but the problem with me organizing is it bleeds into everything then. And I think it's not a problem for me. My family is then like, oh, right? So that's what we're going to do. So the first pattern we're going to do is actually a pattern if you haven't snagged it yet. It is on sale this weekend. Today's the last day for it. All Lynn's handmade patterns. We're probably gonna bind a fair amount of those. I was thinking about doing this pattern today, but I was like, you know what? We're gonna do at least once a week. We're gonna do a live. That's not gonna change, but the live doesn't always have to be sewing, right? The live can be like, hey, let's organize our sewing rooms together. Let's go through our fabric stash together, and what are we going to use still, and what are we going to put on the pile to say, you know what, I'm going to do a D-stash. Those types of things. Maybe we talk about like what's trending right now. What are some of the trends in fashion that you won't maybe find at my shop, but maybe you'll find it out there in a thrift shop. I think there's some things that you guys don't know about me. So I think that's also something I want to start sharing here on the channel. So yeah, we're going to at least once a week, we're going to make some stuff happen other than actual projects, but we will still continue to sew here. I don't want anybody to think we're not going to sew. But there's, you know, there's other parts to sewing, right? So I'm going to just flip you here so you can see this process. And you can't do, so this is the thing about these machines. I can't do that thick of a piece, right? Rolls of vinyl, yes. And fabric scraps. So rolls of vinyl, I do have one of those things that hangs off the side of my doorway. It's really the only place that I could do that with. I would love a different solution, but so far I haven't found one yet. Having a smaller area. But fabric scraps, I think that's a great one for a future. I would love a fabric scrap one as well, because one of the things I would love to do, and this was another idea I thought about doing a live for, but again, I'm waiting to have this area a little bit more organized so I can get to my other machines, is the foundation paper piecing. I would love to have my fabric scraps organized so we can do a little bit more quilting, right? So this is a binding machine, Diana. I do have a link in the bio for it. And again, like I said, I can't take credit for this idea. This is Katie from My Little Shindig. This is her idea that I am copying. And I just thought it was so genius to get your patterns. When you buy your pattern, you go and bind it. And so now I have the pattern here. Okay, I got it. I put it all together last night because I was thinking I was going to do this one live with you guys, right? And I usually print it out on better cardstock, but my printer, I think you guys, I think I have to buy a new printer. My printer is not feeding correctly. Don't you love that? It had like one of those firmware updates. I feel like they purposely make printers, they make printers so that you can't, you know, like fix them anymore. And so I'm just trying to make sure that this is in there correctly. I don't know if it's gonna, is it gonna work? Oh, there we go. So the sheet protector, you have to be a little bit more finagly with it. There we are. All right, so now we're gonna do our front page. And our back page. And there is this little guide here that will tell you like where do you want your holes to be. There's a little book to show you how to do it. And this one here, the black one, is always It's always a little bit more because it's thicker. There we go. All right, now I have to remember how I do this. I might need to get the instructions. It's been a little bit. I don't print my patterns. I keep them digital, but I do have all the pattern pieces. Need a good system for them. Yes. All right, so let me look how I'm supposed to do this with the coils. So now I need to get a coil. And I do have the link for the coils. We're going to get a coil, and we need to keep the, there we go. The opening is like facing me, so I'm going to hold it. And I'm going to stretch that baby out. Can you guys see this? How it's stretched out there? And now we're going to weave that in there. There we go. Put our sheet protector on. I think Katie had actually purchased like these other sleeves that are a little bit thicker, but I have such a big box of these sheet protectors. I was like, you know what, that's what I'm going to use. I'm not going to buy something else. I do make thicker size coils. Like if you need a thicker size coil, you can get a thicker size coil. I wonder, like, this part of me is like, it should fit on top of here and then it should close. I think that's actually how you can do it. I didn't read these instructions all the way through. Go figure. I think it can actually work this way. Because I have too much here. Yes. It costs $6, yeah. So that's why I like doing it yourself here is way cheaper. And that's basically like I paid for the machine, but if I do all my patterns this way, it's definitely going to save me money from having someone else do it. Did everybody have a nice, I wonder if this is going to work. It's not. It's not going to work. I need to put it all in there. Dang it. You have to do it on the coil. I wonder if I got, this coil's a little thin, but we'll figure it out. We had fun for New Year's. I was so happy to be able to sew this week with Amber and everybody. Lots of new patterns coming out. Diana and her Sharky. Everybody that I showed my Sharky to, Diana, oh my gosh, everybody, my mother-in-law was like, that is adorable. So if you haven't, see, I should have this up further so you guys can see it, and my arm isn't in the way. Once we get going here, it goes a little faster. But the first one is always like trying to figure it out. There we go. I go in the right direction? Yes. My husband had to work today. He usually doesn't work on the weekends, but he had to work this weekend. Usually the beginning of the new year. It's when they're all doing all their maintenance stuff. So it kind of makes sense. Like, we should be doing that stuff too, right? Oh, and this coil is not, it's big enough. I just have to finagle it. I think I have bigger ones though. So maybe I should use that. Let's take a look and see if I have bigger ones. Because these were the ones I used for my, use those for my classes. Yeah, these are bigger. So let's use one of these and stop fighting with it. Excuse me. All right, here we are. Much better. We'll be able to get. There we go. There we go. Okay. Yes, oh my gosh. Our Sayas, I'm so in love with both of them. It was definitely, Amber and I both, when we got off, they were thick babies at the top. We were both kind of like, oh, are we going to be able to top stitch this? But we made it work. Definitely, if you're doing a saya for the first time, I think I would recommend using like more cotton wovens and not over interfacing. As much as the interfacing made both of ours look really great, I would do it without over interfacing first. Yeah, this is going way smoother this time. Plenty of space. So I have this one cut out, and I have the oxbow pattern cut out as well. Those will probably be the next two that I do. Where's the clear sheet? Where'd I put it? Well, now it's not in here. Oh my gosh, that's, you gotta make sure you know where the clear one is. There's that, and there's that. And there we have it. So I am going to do this for all of my patterns today. And then I did order for this little corner over here where I was showing you where I have the zipper. That's where my table was with my desktop and everything. I am going to actually, I ordered like this little, I'll show you guys when it comes. I ordered this little, it's like has drawers in the bottom and it has 2 shelves. And I'm going to move my Cricut and all of the stuff that's on my cutting tabletop. That's moving over to there. And then I might still keep my patterns down in this little thing, just like organized nicer now. But I feel like that will make me, 1, I'll have a bigger cutting space, and 2, probably reorganizing some of my pegboard is the last thing that's going to happen, because I have so much stuff over here by my by my Serger, and my and Jasmine, my domestic, by Bernina. I want to try to clear off the sewing areas as much as I can, so I feel like I have space to do it, right? But this is such a good way if you still have to print out patterns. And you know, I probably don't need to print out the instructions, but I like having it all together. So yeah, this is what's up. So tell me what you're doing today. Are you working on something today? Are you organizing? Are you sewing? Are you just taking the Sunday? I feel like the one thing about this week after New Year's, I feel like many of us, especially women, who have been busily working the household for the past week, we're a little burnt out, right? I know I felt it. I felt it this week. I felt a little like I needed a breather. But yesterday I got all of our designs for 2025. If you go to our website, you can see all of our designs for 2025 are now up on the website, which is exciting to me because that's a lot of work I've been working on for the past couple months. And it's finally, everyone's able to see the work. Okay, so now I'm doing my side kick pattern. I'm gonna have it out of order from the other day. Yeah, what happened with my printer was it started not to be able to print double-sided. Good morning, Janie. I haven't been able to sew this year yet. Linda says, I was going to yesterday, but I think I was run down from the holidays. Yesterday was a couch potato day watching sewing videos. I don't blame you. Oh my goodness. Yesterday I binge watched while I was working on getting all those designs up on the on the website. The Black Doves with Keira Knightley. If you like action spy thriller type of things, that's what I watched yesterday while I got all those designs. So it was kind of a burnout day of just all I can do is do what I need to get done. But yeah, I understand completely. Currently finishing boxing up Christmas trees and wreaths so I can clean, plus doing laundry. Krista. So my husband, I said to my husband, I was like, when my kids wake up, my kids are going to take the Christmas tree down. That's part of their job today. I know my daughter, probably my daughter's boyfriend and my son will do the Christmas tree. But that's one of the things that has to happen today. I feel bad because we only got our Christmas tree like the week before Christmas. All right, I have to see how can I fold this that it's going to fit. But yeah, that's the other thing. We just cleaned, so I won't need to clean everything because we just cleaned for New Year's because we host New Year's. But yes, that'll fit that direction. Will it fit in the? Yep, and those are too big. Okay. Yeah, we cleaned right before, not that things couldn't be cleaned again, but I don't have to do a crazy clean, like mopping my floors and everything. I'll just have to clean the area where the tree is. So, but yeah, I have laundry to fold, but that might wait till tomorrow if I'm doing this all day. Yeah, I usually print out on cardstock, but my printer just isn't. What printers does everybody else have? I'm like trying to hold out because I would like to wait till we're in the studio to like get a printer that's a little bit bigger. I'm gonna sneeze, you guys. Ooh. Right now we have one of the Epson, like the ink jet printers, which it's been a good printer. It's lasted us, I'm trying to think how old it is. It's probably 4 or 5 years old. But still, like, I feel like, why do printers have to just, like, stop working? All right, so that's that. Let me clip this. Am I going to be able to get it in there with, I can't. I have to pull everything out. I have to do it. There we go. Hi, Marie. Thanks. Yeah, I figure I'll be here for a little bit. I'm not going to make you guys watch me do all of this. I mean, unless you really want to. All right. But I figure, this is what I'm going to do today, because this is the area, this is the next area that really needs, if I'm going to revisit some patterns, if I'm going to do some patterns that I printed out but never did, who else has done that? Then I need to, and plus I purchased all this stuff, how long ago, to do this, right? So, anybody else have stuff like that where you had the best intentions to do it and just didn't do it? So, I'm trying to think what fabric. Yeah, an HP printer, HP LaserJet, and an Epson. Yeah, ours was an Epson. I like it. I don't feel like it was a bad printer. And I like that you can refill the ink areas yourself, that you don't have to buy a cartridge. But for the amount that I use colored, I don't use colored an awful lot. All right, there we go. All right, let's add another coil. There we go. Oh, excuse the sniffles, you guys. Morning time. All right. I will say, I'm using these because I have them, but they're a little flimsy, which doesn't make me super happy. I guess it'll work. There you go. Got all our orders out on Friday. We have a couple right now. People getting ready, I think, for the new year. We've had a couple more. If you don't have your fabric sample packs, you guys, get on our website and join our email list so you can get the code for the free fabric sample pack before the pre-order starts on January 18th. I'll show you what it looks like. Because we do have, well, in our fabric sample packs now, corduroy is in there. I don't know if I have it on this one up here, but these are our fabric sample packs that you can see all the different types of fabric we have. And then we did put the French terry, traditional French terry. You print daily? Yeah, so do we. I think that's the one reason that I'm like, I want to try to wait until we got into the studio to get like a more industrial type printer, since we print so much. So this is the French terry. I'm going to make a sweatshirt with this. I just purchased a sweatshirt pattern. So that's one of the things that's coming up. But the traditional French terry has the traditional terry weave on the back. It is stretchy. It's not crazy bamboo stretchy, okay, but it is stretchy. It's nice and warm, so definitely for those of us who live in the cooler climates, It does make a nice cardigan though. I have a cardigan made with it. But this is one of our new prints in our favorite character line because I'm an Ozma Emperor's New Groove fan. So this is one of our new prints. So I'm gonna use this, and I'm also gonna use some Eco Knit of our newest fabric that we released, the dyed fabric, which was the Enchanted Woodberry. I'm gonna use a piece of Eco Knit and this for a sweatshirt. So kind of excited about that. But we need to clean the area first. Make sure all of those are on. And there we go. There's another one. Woohoo! There'll be lots of Lindsay. Oh, and this back one didn't hook properly. There we go. All right, 2 down. What's next? I guess the oxbow that I have right here. What I want to do with my oxbow is I really want to quilt it. So I'm trying to I'm not sure what exterior fabric I want to use. I feel like some Luxe Sateen would be really pretty quilted. So that's kind of the base I want to use, but I'm not sure what style of it I want. Deja and I, we were sitting talking about some different things regarding our fabrics the other day, and I was thinking about, I don't know if people would like this, but the Luxe Sateen I think would be nice just in solids, just printed in solid colors. I don't know, would you guys like that? I know I do the cotton sateen dyed, but I was thinking maybe solid colors of the Luxe Sateen would be nice to have. I know a lot of people, once they use the Luxe Sateen, they really like it. Yeah, 3 to 5 years tends to be that's what I said to DJ, because, being a mechanic, he was like, I can probably fix it. I think it's the flap in the back that isn't turning the paper. And I was like, is it really worth fixing? Or is it better we just go and get a new one? Because we're going to still need a printer. Even when we're not in the studio, we'll need a printer in here for just home stuff. So even if we just go get another Epson for now. So I don't know. It's just annoying. And I feel like it always happens at the beginning of the year, stuff like that happens. Our dryer also. I think we have to buy a new dryer. Our dryer, it seems like every other load, it's not drying all the way through. The belt is slow on it. All right. Yeah, those thinner coils I'm just going to have to use for workbooks. So many ideas. Anybody getting ready for all of these, all the events to drop for the new year? Anybody planning on going to Lindsay's or Lauren's? I know those are getting ready to drop. Tickets. I need to make all of the plans for my daughter's graduation so that I can really see exactly what funds I have available to go to any, if I can. Because I think if I do go this year, I'm just going as a fellow sewist, not and like taking classes. I think, not teaching, so that I don't have that prep work beforehand because there's so much going on here at home. But that I can still mingle. I think that's what's going to happen, you guys. So 1 or 2. All right. There we go. 3 down. See, it gets faster as you go. All right, I have a bunch over here. Oh my God. Let's see what we have in this. Okay, this is my Scout pattern. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah, you go a little faster as you get going here. You do start going a little bit faster. So it all works out. Anybody a vision board person in the group? I was a vision board person for a very long time. And I do kind of miss it. I like doing it with a group. I used to be a group of my girlfriends that even if we just got on Zoom and we did them together, we would plan a date to do them together. But this year, the past 2 or 3 years, I just haven't made it a priority. 1, because I have no place to really hang it either. That's also part of it. Come on. There we go. Ooh, that one didn't do quite correctly because it's like curled on the one end. Let's see if I do it this direction. There we go. That sounded better. Ugh, that wasn't better. I just got the edge. I recommend if you're going to do this, you get the thicker, like envelope folded things. I'm not exactly sure where to go now because this one's going like way in there. Well, we'll see. And see, it didn't do anything. What in the world? Well, maybe we need to open the box and get ones that are flat. These are all the same, right? I think so. Yeah. All right. My daughter's still practicing to do the praxis test, hopefully in the next week or so. There we go. She did pass the first time she took it, so she's just trying to get some better. Oh, Amber, it's not quite wide enough. All right. pieces in we can put in. I think this is just my mini, maybe. Yeah. I know I have the other one cut out somewhere. Let me see where the, so I should put both of them in here. Yep. Here's this one. There we go. I think after today, I'm gonna order some of those better sleeves because I don't know how long these are gonna last. Anybody find any new fun things? I know everybody's coming out with their new stuff for the new year. Excited to see what everybody does. I saw Katie added to her people who have subscriptions some fun discount things, which is exciting. Alright, so there's two patterns. Now we need our front and back. Anybody make their scout yet? Excited to see people make their scouts. It's a fun pattern. I feel like I want to make another one. Alright. Need our coil. And then our pattern. The other area I feel like is an area that needs like figured out for me is underneath this, my cutting table. There's like an open area, right, for my legs. Like if I sit here at a high stool, I usually don't sit here. I might sit here more though now that I move that table. But always feel like it's like an empty space that doesn't get used for anything. Maybe it just needs to remain an empty space. I don't know. But the drawers in this cabinet also need a good cleaning out. Like this morning when I was looking for this stuff, I found in this one drawer, I was like, oh, there's all of the charging cords that I bought, like a whole bulk pack of them. All right, there's the Scout pattern. Oh, that's so nice. Okay, what's next? Another Evergreen Threads pattern. This is the Essential Cargo. Oh no, wait. This is the Diane crossbody. Oh, and the Essential Cargo belt bag, but I didn't print all of it out. This is when I did my little hack, I think. Yeah, so it's just the Diane. And then I'm going to have to print out the pieces for the cargo belt bag again. So I'll set that one aside. This is one we're going to definitely do on the channel. I made this one. Oh, what is the Scout? No, it's not one of my patterns. The Scout is by Evergreen Threads. It's the same person who designed these two patterns. I don't have my Scout up here. It's down in the basement. I did a mini Scout here on the channel. So if you go over to my lives, you'll see the mini Scout I made on the channel. But it's a really fun little, it's a backpack. So, and the pattern comes with two sizes. So she just came out with it a little bit before Christmas time. And then the Essential Cargo belt bag she came out with over the summer. And then in the fall, she had come out with the Diane crossbody. All three of the patterns. Amber Lee's patterns are so well written and they're classic designs. So if you are sewing to sell, I highly recommend following her. Because I do really feel like if you're sewing to sell, no matter what fabrics you're choosing, a classic style pattern, people look for classic silhouettes. So I highly recommend her patterns. So I'm going to set this one aside since I have to print out the pieces and cut out the pieces, and we'll work on the Diane. And her and I have been talking. I would really like to release a pattern this year. I have a pattern in my brain that I would like to release. But I am not a pattern designer. I know nothing about it. So I can't put the pieces in yet. So she said that she would collaborate with me and help me. So maybe by the end of the year, I'll have a pattern too. Yeah, this is a good live for if you want patterns that you haven't seen before. Well, we're going to go through them, what I have. So maybe there'll be some that you want to give a try. I would say the Scout is a very intermediate pattern. I highly recommend that if you're going to do the Scout for the first time, very similar to the Saya Sidekick, is that you choose more like cotton wovens to do it the first time around, and maybe like the lining just a water resistant canvas. But the Diane and the Essential Cargo belt bag. The Diane is definitely beginner friendly. The Essential Cargo belt bag is probably beginner intermediate just because of the binding and the double zipper that's on it. But Amberly's patterns are very well wrote. She really definitely takes her time on them and does a good job. Yeah, my kids are supposed to make cookies today. Wonder what time that's all going to start. And this is something that this thing does. Sometimes you have to like these little especially on the back part, because it's thicker. Sometimes it like gets stuck. All right. Oh, that's up too high there. There we go. Still crazy windy here in Pennsylvania. Apollo's funny. My daughter, oh, there's a fuzzer in there. My daughter gave him a bath the other day, which he does not like. If you have a husky, you know. He's so soft and fluffy right now, so when you take him outside, all his fluff is blowing in the air. Oh, this is one I want to revisit, you guys. The Aries crossbody, which I know this is from Knotted Thread Co. I know she's revisiting it to add to this pattern. But this silhouette is the silhouette of 2025. Everybody is going to be doing or wanting this silhouette. And if you didn't see, we are releasing a whole line of bag bling jewelry. And this size silhouette is exactly the size that people are going to want to add their bag bling to. This and backpacks and mini backpacks. All of the design research I did, that's what's out there. That's what we're going to see. So I'm excited for Shannon to do the add-ons to the Aries and to be able to get that. I think it's soon. Isn't it soon? If you haven't made an Aries, I suggest making one beforehand. It is a little technical because it has that curved zip to it, but it's such a good pattern. Yes, right? Yep, Disney, the Loungeflies, the Kate Spades. Everybody's doing this one. Everybody's doing the silhouette. So if you don't have the Aries from Knotted Thread Co., go grab it. The first one I made, I chose a little bit too thick a vinyl. I'll be really honest with you. It still turned out really pretty. And people carrying it, right, Janie? Yeah. And not just as a crossbody, as like a handbag size, right? It's definitely, it's the trend. This is one that I definitely want to make soon. Really, really like this pattern. Also, Shannon is also a very good pattern designer. And every time I do one of her patterns, I learn something from her. Okay. Nope, that's down too far, Jenna. I also, if anybody, the other thing I was binge watching as I was getting all of the designs ready earlier in the week was, I always like watching like documentaries, and I watched the documentary about the, oh shoot, I'm going to say it wrong, and I'm going to sneak, oh, again, I watched the documentary about, it was in Oregon, it was a commune in Oregon. It was very interesting.
Hello.
Hello. Oh, my mother-in-law's here. I'm live. How are you?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I'm working on organizing my patterns.
Okay.
DJ had to work.
Okay.
Yeah. But the kids were gonna make cookies. So maybe you can harass if they're awake, you could harass them to make cookies. Yeah, he had to work again today. They're doing like a lighting project or something. There are some more, I can finish here and come down in a little bit. We did get some more of the charms.
Okay.
And we got the ones to add to the chains
Okay.
as well. So.
All right. I'll go downstairs and pull out the ones that I did.
Okay.
So.
Sounds good. I'll be right down.
Okay.
All right, everybody. Well, I guess that's a wrap. Because I have my mother-in-law is here and she's willing to help. I'm not gonna deny the help. So I'll share with you. I'll get back at this later today because this is something I definitely want to get some more done. But I hope that if you watch this live or you watch this in replay, it can help you think about what's like one thing in the next 3 months. Because I think the hardest thing about organizing, at least to me, is I feel like I have to do it all at one time, guys. And you don't have to do it all at one time. You just do it a little bit at a time. So in the next 3 months, what's one thing you want to tackle? And I find what happens usually if I say that, if I'm going to do at least one thing in the next 3 months, that it feels like it's a bit like this, like you saw all the patterns, and I have so many more that I haven't printed out yet. And I feel like one thing that will happen, once I have them printed out, is I will go back to more of these patterns more, or I will do ones that I haven't done yet. I was thinking, since this binding is like fairly thick, I might take like a white paint marker and write the name of the pattern on the side, so that way when it's like sitting on a shelf, I can see at least the name of the pattern on the binding. That might be a good idea to do. But I do feel like if you can choose one thing for the next 3 months that you're going to tackle, it allows you to then make those steps. And once you do it, you actually end up tackling more than that one thing. So good luck organizing, everybody. Thanks for joining me live. Again, if you don't have our free fabric sample pack, you definitely want to go over to our website and join our email list. Okay, so you can get your free fabric sample pack for this year, because our pre-order starts on January 18th. It is going to run till February 14th, which is a little longer than we usually do. But I figured since there's so many new designs up on the website, I want to give everybody some time. As always, we will do our best to have the quickest turnarounds around with our pre-orders, but make sure you're getting your free sample pack, because this helps you so much to be able to decide, like, oh, this is the fabric I want for my Aries crossbody, or this is the one I want for this sweatshirt that I'm going to try to make myself. Get your free fabric sample pack. It's super helpful. Everybody, have a great day. Have a great Sunday. Make it a great week. And as always, remember that crafting and sewing is the healing part.